Hello and welcome to this episode of Church at Home for the 26th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Father Ed Estock here.
Father Dominic Gideon.
Nice to see you all. And we have also, this is the October 1st, and therefore it is Respect Life Sunday, and the first of the several Sundays in Respect Life Month in our Catholic Church. So we are prayerful and mindful and teaching and preaching and acting on behalf of those most vulnerable in our world for the promotion and the protection of life. So welcome. We have a great gospel text. The two sons, one's kind of cranky. As Dad asks both of them to go out into the field, one says, sure, I'll go right away, thank you, and then he doesn't do it. The other one says, no, I'm not feeling it today, so but then he reconsiders and he goes and does what is asked of him. Which of them did his father's will? Obviously the one who followed through on the priorities. So we were kind of thinking about how this plays out in our daily lives.
Yeah, and I think it really challenges me to reconsider how I use words and how how I commit to things. Oftentimes we can make shallow commitments. Someone tells me, a family member, their own problem, and I can say, "Oh, I'll pray for you," and it's just kind of something to kind of keep things going. Or am I really going to pray for them, or will I pray for them right then and there to follow through easily with that commitment? Or I think we've all been in those instances where you see an old friend or see somebody at church, and you're like, "Oh, it'd be great we'll get coffee, we'll hang out," and you don't really follow through, and both parties kind of know that, but that's really an insincerity of our words, and a misuse of these kind of verbal commitments. The Lord wants us to be truthful and to not just to say things to kind of get things moving, but to say things with meaning, and knowing that those words have power. And even if we don't feel like contacting that person moving forward, it might be a challenge to do so, because that's something that, despite the hard work, is something good.
Right? Yeah. So I'm taking from Father Dominic's suggestion, but also the gospel, a little bit of a different flavor, in the sense that I'm hearing the call in my own life to make sure that I know the truth and I have my priorities firmly rooted. So much so that my feelings, I'm cranky, I'm grouchy, I'm tired, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling whatever, that I can push through those feelings of disinterest or discomfort, and be faithful to my values and my commitments and the priority of Christ in my life. As we were saying before, that in our priest's life, but in everybody's life, the opportunities to honestly serve the person of Christ and the Christian values that we all profess, they are many times a day, right? And most of the time, it's not convenient. Love is not convenient, and especially true love. So the second reading this weekend is the famous Philippians hymn, and it shows us and holds up Jesus Christ as the model for loving. And the expression that they use is that he emptied himself. So that he didn't take any pride to himself. He didn't take any priority for himself. He emptied himself and poured himself out for the sake of love. And so in the gospel text, we see that the one son gave lip service because it was convenient and it got him out of a jam, but he didn't have the priority of love. And the other one gave in to the temptation to be kind of cranky and maybe a little bit of a brat, and so he spoke inappropriately. But eventually he was able to push through to his priority and his commitment. You know, the world today, it's not unusual to have many people in our experience who are operating and making their choices and speaking their words out of their feelings only. That the only priority in their life is their feelings. Now, I think we all can be tempted to that, but you can see how fracturing that is in the world. What the gospel is calling us to is to make Christ the priority of our life and to adjust our feelings and our words and our actions to that priority. Well, that's like an inside-out t-shirt. You know, those are two. So we hear it and we see the battle in our world today. So let's consider Christ and the priority of our lives, and maybe we need to adjust our feelings and our words and our behavior.
And yeah, seriously, discern our commitments.
Okay.
And so hopefully this is a good opportunity for all of us as a church community to recommit ourselves to the truth and to what God's calling us to do.
Right. Don't forget, October 1st, also pet blessing. Bello is going to be presiding, and so on the back patio of the PLC, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So St. Francis annual pet and animal blessing. All right. See you then.
See ya.